Hi, this is Bill Punch from Michigan State University with another video from the series of videos on the topic, the practice of computing using Python CSE 231. This particular video will be on the topic of using sets to perform some operation on documents, in particular common and unique words. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to take two documents. In particular, I think we're going to look at the Gettysburg Address and the Declaration of Independence. We're going to look to see if we can find the common words that showed up in both documents, the unique words that showed up in each document individually, and then maybe some other fun stuff. Hey, we did something very similar to this when we did the word frequency exercise in dictionaries. Can we reuse some of the code? Here's the original code. You remember we called this the litany, right? From lines 3 to line 9, this was all about word processing. For each line in the file, we stripped the lines to get rid of carriage return line feeds. We split the words out. For each word in the resulting list, we lowercase it so we get decent comparisons. We strip any punctuation that might have showed up at the end, and if we end up with a real word, okay, well, we get to do something. What we get to do is here, we did stuff for dictionaries to record their frequency. We're going to just change a few things and write a new version of this piece of code. We're going to keep everything that we did the same up to, and let's show the line numbers, up to line 11. We're going to make two small changes. We're going to change the name of the parameter from my dictionary to my set because that just makes sense. But all the things we did above, this stuff here, we're going to replace with a single call to change by adding the word to the set. This gives us unique words because duplicates are automatically removed, and so we get the unique words in each one of those documents. Let's see how that works. We'll open two text files. Here's the Declaration of Independence, and here's the Gettysburg Address. I'm not going to show you those because they're a little long, but we'll open up those files, and then we'll do some processing on the files by creating two empty sets, the Gettysburg Address set, the Declaration of Independence set. We'll call get words on both open file objects with sets, and we'll close the file so that we can do our processing work. All right, so there are the sets of words. How many unique words are in the Gettysburg Address? How many in the Declaration of Independence? We can measure the lengths of the sets and find out that the Gettysburg Address is short, only 138 words. Declaration of Independence is longer, 529 words. Hey, how do we find the common words in both sets? Obviously, we want to do intersection. So if we intersect the two sets, the resulting common set should be those words that are common to both documents. Let's go ahead and do that. And I measured the length of it to tell us that there are, in fact, 61 words that are in common between those two elements. Now, I could just dump those words. Let's write a little function that makes it easy to print it out. And so I did that for us already. Let's take a look and see how that works. We take in a set and then two default oriented parameters called width max, which has a default of 10, and columns max, which has a default of 8. And we run it through the sorted function, and we get back a sorted list. We're already sorted. Everything is done. Now we just want to try to make the things print out very nicely. What we're going to do is we're going to keep track of, as we print across the page, the number of columns we've printed in. We print each word, reprint it, and here's a change. We haven't seen this before, and this is very interesting. The width of the word is a variable that we can create by putting curly brackets around and then say in the format argument statement, I want W to be the width max. And so the width of the word is going to be whatever this parameter comes in at. And every time we print, we're going to say n equals space. We're not going to have a carriage return at the end of the line. If we hit the column max, that is, if we hit whatever got passed in as the maximum number of columns, we're going to reset columns to 0, print a carriage return line feed. Otherwise, we're going to make the columns go up by 1. So we'll print nicely across the columns, and we'll know the width of the words as we go along. Let's go ahead and define that. And then let's print out the common words. We'll take the defaults for both the width of the largest word in the columns. Here are the common words between the two sets, which is pretty interesting, actually. What about the unique words in each document? What we can use is set difference. So I can subtract the Gettysburg Address word from the Declaration of Independence words. I can also subtract the Declaration of Independence word from the Gettysburg Address words, and we can find those unique values. And so I call those two sets the unique sets. Let's go ahead and run that. There are 77 unique words in the Gettysburg Address, words that are in the Gettysburg Address that are not in the Declaration of Independence, and vice versa, 468 unique words in the Declaration of Independence. The GA set is smaller. Let's go ahead and print the Gettysburg Address stuff. We'll take the defaults, but you can see it's kind of messy. So what we can do better is to say, well, look, some of these words are bigger than that. Let's take a word width of 14, cut the columns down to 6, see how that looks better. So here are the words that didn't show up in the Declaration of Independence. All this made so much easier by using the set operations to see things that are common and different.